Okay, we should be live, I think, with two current viewers, I see. Uh, okay, today will be a drawing stream because I haven't drawn anything in like 2 months. Oh, that's not a good habit to have to sometimes just go without drawing for long periods of time. But I just kind of didn't feel like it the last um, month or so. Okay, never mind, there's no viewers at the moment. Yeah, I thought there were two. Guess I was wrong. To quickly check something. Okay, I checked if I was indeed live. So, oh yeah, that's right. Whenever I'm streaming, my Clip Studio runs a bit slower than I would like it to be. But what I need to do right now is there is some changes to the armor piece, and as you can see, it's not straight line anymore. Instead, there's this fun curve going here. And I want to do more with that idea. And I also just realized that I think you guys cannot even see my mouse cursor. That's interesting. But what I need to do right now is give her some arms. And what I want to do with the arms is I want them to be super close to the body. So what I think I'll be doing is instead of having this curvature right here, I will draw it straight down instead. But for that I will first test out some quick sketching to see how it looks. Okay. Yeah, it's a bit annoying with the bit lag in the program. This was partly why I don't draw as much anymore streaming. So the arm, you know, this part of the body doesn't really matter because it'll be cut off anyway. So the arm will be something like so, which is it's similar, that is slightly shorter, but maybe not short enough. I mean, close to the body enough. I want it to be somewhere around here. So I think, and I will mirror it on the other side, so it doesn't matter too much. And since her arm is relatively close to the body, there will be probably just a very small gap between the arm and the torso. You know, now I see it by complete accident. It looks like this part of here. It's a bit like his sleeve. So I will make it look a bit more rod of sleeve. So this part will be more like proper flesh. And that is my plan. On this side, on this side, on the other hand, the arm will be. I need to make it curve a bit more, like so, very close to the armor plates. So I imagine that arm is something like so. Then at the curvature around the torso would also curve around here. Maybe a bit lower though. Yeah, I want it to be a bit lower. Curve. They will be a bit narrower arms than my last attempt, mainly because it's stylization. Hopefully will make her look a bit more feminine. Short. Now, like I said earlier, this part doesn't technically matter. So theoretically, I don't even need to draw this arm like so. And also, it would go a lot lower, I think, anyway. Okay, how would this even look if I move? Okay, never mind. I think I'll just completely scrap the original arm idea and go with this off and use it for the entire G. Since it's not a suit, more of a dress or shirt, the curving isn't as important. Make the sleeve a bit thicker than in the sketch. Okay. No, I don't actually like the sleeve as big. Keep it as in the sketch. The arm that goes down. But I'm trying to figure out where is the armpit. I think it's approximately here. Actually, I think it doesn't really matter. Speaking of what doesn't really matter too much is whatever's happening down here, because it will probably be cut anyway. The arm doesn't quite work out for me though. Okay, if I were to see her from this, the arm will be... I need to grab another character for reference for a moment. Not that character. Uh, Actually, if this approximately what we see, we'll see in the game. That means this part of the arm will be slightly cut off, and maybe I do want to... Yeah, I do want to lower the sleeve bit. Which means we'll make a second version of it. But instead I want to keep this straight, slightly turned. And then have this sleeve be approximately about here instead. Okay, I think that might be closer to my vision. Let me check the color. If this will be mirrored and maybe the sleeve slightly adjusted, then I do want to do some adjustments to the sleeve, and the arm feels a bit narrow. Or is it though? How did I want to check one other character I did? No, I think the arm looks fine. It's more the fact is it's not straight that makes it a bit off-putting. Maybe because it is too straight that makes it look a bit weird. So if I make it just a little bit less straight. And the same with the other side, just make it a little less straight. In Fury, that would make it feel a bit more natural. Yep. And as for the sleeve, change the color, and I'll also redraw it a bit. First of all, with the wheel, I think I want to make it a bit more, well, it's a bit more going up instead. Okay, if the sleeve were to be roundish, means would bit of curvature as well. Something like so. Oh. Like so. Now it looks more like a sleeve and not just a rectangle. Because of the little curvature they added. As for the rest of the arm, it's fixing the pixels, quick pixel counting, and it should be fixed. Just one pixel change. I'm still not quite convinced with the color though. The color looks a bit not quite right in my opinion. In the original there was no color at all. But I do want to have a color right here. Because it just looks cooler. Huh. It was weird, there's a tiny spider on my microphone. Man. I hope he doesn't stay there because I will have to box that microphone up later and I cannot have a dead spider if he suffocates in there. Hey Herbo, my one and only moderator. I was reworking this piece. I think you remember last time when I did my last drawing thing from like 2 months ago. Your mic sound is not great if I'm... Is this better? Or this? Because I had to sound a bit high. I was reconfiguring my microphone, that's why I did some changes. That sounds a bit different. Anyway, I was you may remember like 2 months ago when I made this piece. In those time I was really thinking I really want to redraw that whole character entirely. And this is my newer version, and as you can see, it looks a lot better, I think. And with the previous version, I want to have the arm on the hip, but I've been thinking this part will be completely cut out. It does look better, I think. You think? It's easier if I put them right next to it. Maybe you can decide easier that way. So now you can compare the two. If you ignore the gold detailing for a bit, and the fact that this one doesn't have hair yet, I'm not sure. Okay, it still sounds like static. If I put a bit lower. Is this better, or is it still staticky? Or maybe it's the it's the fan I have on. I just turned off my fan. Maybe it was the fan. That is also possible. But yeah, as you can see, now it sounds good. Maybe it was the fan, which is not great for me because damn, it's hot today. I will stripping moment. I will take off my shirt. But now you can easily compare the two versions. Besides the gold detailing and the build, I think you can better see the more feminine figure I had redrawn for this version. So the only thing left is drawing her head and hair. Yeah, the new one looks significantly better. I thought so too, Because the whole time I just wasn't quite satisfied with this version, man. But you know something I'm also not quite satisfied with, this version in particular, is the color. I haven't quite figured out how I want to do this color piece, because while it looks fine, it doesn't look as good as I want it to be. But I also don't want to do full-on color because I want to keep this part open. Well, there's a problem for sometime later. What I want to do first is take this arm and duplicate it on the other side. Arms were a little too big in the last one. Yes, agreed, a little too big and too square. That was the first, no, not the first, one of the main things I wanted to change. We take this arm, mirror it, and then reposition it. And that way she now has two arms. She doesn't have a belt though. So Irbo, how have you been doing? seen any good movies or TV shows? Oh, by the way, one thing I was experimenting with the armor plate, you will notice that this leathery part is very triangular, but I want to make the armor plate a bit more roundish looking. So instead of having it follow the leather, it is more rounded off. Do you like it, or do you think I should make it follow the leather instead? I've been alright. I've been playing the first oh, nice. Oh, I've yet to play it myself. I'm assuming you bought it so you can try Hades 2 later. Do you enjoy it so far? People keep recommending that game to me, but I keep not having the time for it. I do like it a lot, actually. Nice. Okay, what I want to do is I want to add this gold detailing now with the style of this all swirlies, which will be a bit difficult because I need to figure out how it waves around. Okay, from what I understand about Hades is it's roguelike, right? As in you have randomly generated dungeons or something? Or am I mistaken? Yes. And it is also Greek mythology themed, which is something that I really should what I really want to know more about, because in this game project I also work with a lot of Greek mythology, so playing Hades might be very useful for me too. Okay, how big should I make the swirls, relatively speaking? The outer ones should be super big. Being something around here. And then the smaller ones gradually increasing as it hits. It's a roguelike Greek mythology. Basically, you're trying to escape the underworld. Nice. Escape Hades. Oh, I really want to play it. But, I don't know if it would run smoothly on my Switch. But I can technically play it on my PlayStation 4. Okay, these swirls go more like so. Okay, the swirls right now look a bit simplified, but I will redraw them as we go along. It's just for reference. I would definitely recommend it. Okay, then I will definitely play it. Well, I was planning to play it at some point anyway. But it's good to know that you like it, so I can ask for advice if I ever need to. Oh, I was I've been meaning to read more books, but I really don't like modern fiction that much. And also it doesn't really help me in terms of educational value. Ooh, there's I don't have a lot of space for swirls in this section. In this version I completely didn't do swirls. Never mind. Well, let's first redraw these before I get to the hard part. I've been meaning... Okay, as I said, I've been meaning to read more books. So I've been reading about some ancient food. I just love some random educational stuff. Do you like reading books? Okay, because I haven't really read any books since high school, so I'm still a bit trying to figure out what I like to read in the moment. But I have ordered Kiki's delivery service because I'm curious to see how different it is from the movie version. Okay, swirls is a bit difficult to draw. Here I did a bit more freehands. Okay, start off thick and then get thinner as I get close to the end. I like reading books, but I don't really read, to be honest. Same. I've meant to read books partly because I won't say that I can read books, but also because I will really need to read more if I want to make a visual novel which is about reading. So observing how other people handle words, dialogue and stuff will help me out with my own writing. But it doesn't help if I only read educational stuff instead of story stuff. So I'm not saying I'm particularly that smart in the way I choose books. But at least you can expect a lot of random trivia. Okay, the first world looks terrible. I want to redraw that. But I do like the second and third. I was thinking that reading books and stories could definitely help you become a better writer. Indeed, that's why I've been... You know what I'm planning to do? I'm planning to buy Shakespeare's. Reading some super old English. Because I'm very curious to see how he wrote stage plays. Because the thing about my story is, my story feels more closer to a stage play than a novel. Because, well, it's a video game, not a proper novel. Okay, Erbo, do you like the way I draw these swirlies, or do you think I didn't do them justice enough? So that's the down part. Next up is the hard part, the up part. But the idea is the reason it goes like so is you have to imagine that the armor plate goes also to the back and the swirls will continue on to the back instead of going upwards along the breast. It looks good, but not perfect. Perfect is difficult, especially if you don't know where the imperfection lies. But for now, good is probably good enough. Okay, now this part. What I can also do is, I don't think I can do swirls around this whole section because there's just way too little room to make use of it. So what I can do is I can just make this a big gold line instead, similar to, well, similar to this, where it's not all swirlies, but just only swirls on the bottom side. What do you think? Or should I try to do swirls after all? And just hope I don't screw it too much up. Because if I do swirls, I do think it's better to switch that they are not on the same line. That way I have space per swirl. That's a good idea. The line idea or the switch idea? Oh, by the way, I probably need to read a small section about this particular character in her clothes, so because there's some stuff I want to do with her design. I mean, if I can find it, the line one. Okay, I will do the line one. Alright, it's on the job page. Thank you. This the full story doesn't really matter. It's more about the top or the bottom stuff I want to talk about, and that well, that is right here, which reads: in some cultures, gold is used to glue broken faces. Instead of trying to hide the cracks, it's made to stand out as a reminder to the object's inherent history. It gives a very unique aesthetic, so I decided to wear a vibrant turquoise dress. When holes appear through wear and tear, I will sew it shut with golden thread. Why sew it with turquoise and hide the past when you can embrace it? Now, hang on. Now that's a reference to actual Japanese culture where they take broken faces and shards and glue them with gold like glue. And I thought it'd be a fun idea to make that part of her character. But instead of faces, broken face, it will be part of her outfit design where she has random holes in it, but sewed with golden threads, or in this case golden pixels. That way it will make her feel more culturally aware, but not necessarily traditional to any specific culture. Mm. I forgot the technical Japanese name for that thing. That's a good idea, thanks. Where I will put the holes, I haven't decided yet. But if we look at the super old 2019 design, I did have some gold thread along the leather. So that's definitely where I will put at least some of it. But I also want to put some on the dress itself. But first, let's do the swirls. Something else I've been reading is how big do I want these swirls? Something else I've been reading is about flowers, but not. I bought a book about Lego flowers, where they went over Lego flower designs, because I like Lego and I thought it'd be funny to learn about it. It was an alright read. Not amazing, but I did learn some fun flower names, so that's always a bit worth it. Because I figured, sure, I can buy a proper book about botanicals, but I'm not inherently interested in flowers myself, so an entire book about it, no thanks. The same with history. I do like me some history, but if you present it with food, then you get me interested. Only then. And sometimes I just look up stuff just for the sake of writing, like the mushrooms. I have no direct interest in mushrooms myself, but when you have a character whose whole personality is liking mushrooms, you have to get in the headspace of someone that is also interested in those stuff, which can be a bit hard to do at times, because sometimes it's very hard to pretend to really love something, even if it's beneficial for your work. But I think it's also a very important skill to learn, because sometimes the only way to make people like you is if you show interest in what they like. And that's something I think a lot of people need to learn. Showing interest in other people's hobbies. Even if you, at the end of the day, completely forget about it. Okay, do you like the swirls or do you think I need to change something? Maybe a third one around here. No, for me the hardest part is trying to keep people engaged. It's very easy to start a conversation. Sometimes when I'm out, I randomly approach strangers and talk with them for a bit. But once the conversation ends and you try to rekindle the conversation, it's very hard to do because it requires a two-side streak. If they don't do the job of communicating with you, there's very little you can do to keep the conversation going. Thank you, thank you. Okay, this part will end with this swirl and then I'll keep this part all clean. Do I need to add a pixel here? I want this part also slightly thicker to be a bit more in line with the top part. So. Oh. Okay, let's see, what do I need to do next? Belts. The two things I need to do is the hair, including the bandana and the belt. I'll start with the belt, that part will be the most easiest to handle. But first for the belt I'll need a quick sketch. I've also thinking about buying new socks because my socks keep breaking on me. So when I bought some new socks the other day, instead of buying some standard boring black or white simple color socks, I thought let's buy some socks with goofy patterns. Right now I'm wearing socks with scooters on them. Because A, if they break I probably wouldn't care anyway, and B, nobody is going to see my socks. If I go out, I wear shoes anyway. And if I'm inside, I don't care what my parents think. Right? So I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna wear the goofiest socks I can find. I also have a socks with some wine glasses, some cocktail glasses. I also have socks that have dice on them, but I lost one of them. I have one sock with dice on it because the other vanished in the washing machine. And it upsets me because what do I do now? Do I just wear it with mismatched socks? Or do I throw it away? Because it's a perfectly fine sock. Throwing it away feels like a waste. Okay. So yeah, but what is your personal clothing style? Do you like to be all eccentric with your style, or do you like to be basic? Or do you only wear work clothes? Because that's something else I've been writing about. People's personal clothing styles in my story. I'm definitely more basic, to be honest. Ah, so I assume you just wear a t-shirt and some blue jeans? Nothing wrong with that, of course. But I'm trying to, when I write about characters' preferences in stuff like color or drinks, I try to get into their head. Stuff like that, jeans or sweatpants. Ooh, sweatpants. And I try to get into this head, like, why would they wear something like that? Like, why would they go around with a suit, or why do they wear a big turquoise dress like this? Okay, the belt doesn't look right to me. If I first, I will first just color this in. Because I think clothing style has potential to say something about the character's personal psychology, which I like to explore in my project. I can reuse some of it. But since my game takes place on a cruise ship, most style is more based on their job, like the main character who wears a suit because he's behind a bar. So instead of saying, oh, I wear a suit, I'm like, oh, I hate wearing this suit. It makes me feel like a poser. If you always watched. So it's more like he hates wearing those clothes, but he wears it because that's what he needs to wear for the job. No, that's what I mean by character psychology. Why they wear it and how they feel about wearing certain stuff. And the same with this girl. I wrote this girl to be more piratey. So she doesn't care about rules and authority. So her reason to wear this is because she wants to say, I am not part of the system, I am my own person. I'm going to wear the most eccentric dress I can wear, so bright and so vibrant. You can immediately see me from across the room. Because I can, that's her style, that's what I want to do with her. Okay, I'm not going to completely clean up this curvature because I'm too lazy to do all that. And frankly, the only people that care about perfect pixel art are pixel artists. So I'm not going to worry about that. You know, the other day, Bormson was here and he was super mad at me for the fact that I didn't do polls for a while. Yeah, there was a small period where today I have a poll, but there was a period when I didn't do polls because sometimes I just don't know what to do with my polls, man. Because I feel like all the fun stuff I've already asked before. And now I'm left with some either questions that make no sense or just questions that are related to the video game I just happened to be playing in that stream. Today's poll was about, what was it about again? The fridge. Oh yeah, throwing a body inside a fridge. It has absolutely nothing nothing to do with this stream. But it was just a random question I thought would be funny to ask. Now another rule I really know, but I keep forgetting about pixel art or any art for that matter. Stop overthinking, man. Sometimes I stare at my stuff and try to overthink way too much what I'm doing and try to follow the rules as closely as possible. But every time I do that, it takes me like 3 hours just to draw something simple. Oh, yes, it has nothing to do with it, but I'm random. This is what makes the questions fun. Fair enough. What was my inspiration of today's question anyway? Am I just weird for just asking something about the fridge? Alright. Yeah, I just want to do a simple fridge question, like what do you have in your fridge? Do you have cheese in there? Or popcorn? Or whatever? And then I thought about, what about if he has a random human body in his freezer? Yeah, it's just more of a random question, nothing more to say. But it's super funny. Oh yeah, this build is the definition of not thinking too hard, because look at how jagged it looks. I'm not going to worry about it because A, in the game I'm not even sure if you're going to see it since the bottom half will be cut off a bit. And B, who cares if it's perfect? Because the one thing you need to know about art is if you don't like the art, you're gonna find reasons to hate it. And if you love the art, you're gonna excuse the imperfections. And the only people that's going to hate the jaggedness of this build are the people that don't like the game to begin with. That's the way how I see it. And that's the way I see the internet in general. If you're not going to like something, you will always find reasons to hate it. But if you like something, you're more okay with accepting a couple imperfections here and there. Let's see, do I have a small circle tool? Circle tool is not as good as I hoped. I'll just draw the circles myself. Little squares. Yeah, I cannot draw circles in pixel art, I'm sorry. Like, I guess I can do this, that looks kind of circular. Yeah, you know what, sure, I'll make little stars and call it circles. That's a good way to think. Don't get caught up on small imperfections. And to be precise, it is often the imperfections that people absolutely adore. Because people are not going to remember you for making the perfect ever story ever, or the perfect ever artwork ever. They remember you for the little artistic nose that makes it you. I want to give a good example, but I cannot think of an example at the moment. But I'm sure you know what I mean. I think there was this band, I think it was Metallica, I forgot, that had like this one part where they had this instrument playing, but that was not part of the original song, it was more of a mistake during a live performance. But people loved it so much that they kind of kept it in as part of the official album. And that's part of the world of imperfections that you need to appreciate. Sometimes things work when you least expect it. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the squares, by the way, because otherwise it would feel either too small or too big, the holes. So in the build, you know what's interesting? In the original design, the belt buckle was more on the lower part. But this redesign, the belt buckle was a bit higher up. Doesn't matter too much, because now we're going to look at the hair. I hope the shape of the head isn't too big. Okay, Airbow. I do have to go, but I'll be back later depending on how long you... Alright, see you later, Airbow. I will also quickly pause for a bit because I need to go to the toilet. Alright, see you later, Airbow. Okay, I'm back again. Now, let's see if my microphone is working. Means this text can also go against the bilge. And next up, we'll do the hair. Okay, for the hair, I will draw the bandana. I don't quite like the head shape. Which layers the head? Okay, well first take out the head part so I can use it. Looks like I missed 2 pixels, but it's not too important. So we're just going to delete those 2 pixels quickly. Now I have the perfect head. Redraw 2 pixels in the right head shape and bring the head up above so I can easier use it. Now, as I said, I wasn't quite happy with the head shape. And okay, the head is going up, but it needs to round out a bit. First, I'll make a tube of the head just to make sure that if I screw it up, I have something to work with. Because next up is deciding how much of the head will be taken over by the bandana. And I am going for approx 1/3. I think, yeah, something between 1/5 and 1/3 should be the right. Oh, hey, Porrington, welcome back. The inside of freezer is frozen ice. Are you sure? I'm back with a new drawing stream in case you haven't noticed. Because I haven't done one in like 2 months, man. So, Porrington, how are you doing? Have you fed your cats yet? And I lost my bed, and my bed lost me back. Okay. This part will be... No, cats that are on 7. Alright, that is in like 5 hours. No, no, not 5. 3 hours. I was called a scam and a freak. You were you. I was called a scam and a freak yesterday. Why were you called a scam? I'm such an angel. Okay, why were you called a scam? That's what did you do, Porrington? What did you do? Did you scam someone? Okay, perfection. First, I need to figure out where the face will be. Because it's approximately right here. Okay, that's approximately the face. That means the ear's approximately right here. Is this you, Porrington? Are you this guy? Okay, someone was playing RE7 and was trying to find the key item. I am competent. Where could it be? I think it's in the... The response was, do you actually know where it is? You must be... Okay, but was it in that room? Or were you just trolling? Okay, this guy is now creeping me out. Okay, that's better. But what I need first is literal translation. I didn't even say where it, what room it is. Oh, you didn't even say anything. The translation screwed with you. That is that sucks. Does that mean that in your language grammar just works differently? Okay. No, I literally say that room. Wait, it's a literal translation. I didn't even say where it was or what room it is. That room. What I get is you were just guessing in what room it was. No spoiler. Oh. But you try to keep it a bit more a hint, but not directly saying where it was. That's my understanding from what you're trying to say. Keep it a little subtle, but apparently you were called a scam for being subtle. Yeah, it's more like a hint in case the streamer wants to help. Yeah, I don't understand streamers that resort to immediately being angry. when people try to help. I understand being angry when people keep trolling you. But from the context, I have no reason to believe that you were trolling him. Okay, the hair needs to be... I think I will make the hair a bit more inward. So we'll go approximately like so. And have the wild stuff just being suggested with little spike here and there. And when I complains about being called a scammer, he just lamented that I'm such a... Why? What did the other commenters say about you? The other people in the chat? Or were you the only one? Were they on his side or on your side? Is it that channel now? Oh, just like me. I'm also the dead channel pretty much. But to be fair, I don't really upload YouTube videos, so nobody knows me anyway. Even though it has 50k, okay, yeah, that's pretty dead if he doesn't have any viewers. I know streamers with only 1k subs and they have like at least 5 people watching them regularly. So with that many subscribers, either he only uploads YouTube shorts, or his subscribers are from like 10 years ago. There's a reason for that. They've clickbait. Oh, yeah, makes sense. You know, I'm always in the habit of every year I go through my subscriptions and unsubscribe to channels I don't watch anymore. Because I get annoyed when I have too many subscriptions that I simply don't care about. And I don't understand why more people don't do that. Because why would you be subscribed to something you don't even watch? But maybe just me. ENFA notification is terrible. Yes, it is. There are channels I'm subscribed to that I really want to watch, but YouTube never shows those videos unless I specifically look for those videos. And then YouTube is like, oh, you actually like the channel you are subscribed to? Here is a video of theirs they just uploaded. And I'm like, oh. You know, YouTube is so annoying sometimes. I have to actively make sure their system actually knows what I like. Especially when the subscribe channels just keep uploading irrelevant content. True. Or when the YouTuber hasn't uploaded in like 5 years. And you're like, why am I even subscribed to this guy, man? He hasn't uploaded since the times of the dinosaurs. That's how I feel about Vsauce, by the way. I love that channel, but he hasn't uploaded like a real video in like a decade or something. My man, I want more Vsauce videos. His shorts are fine and all, but it doesn't compare to a full-length video. we remove some of the outline, gives you a better sense of what it should look like. Oh. The character in the background needs to be turned off. Okay, that's better. And with that, yes, she now has hair. But she looks like she's just finished smoking. What the fuck? Those eyes, man. I have a cat channel that I always want to watch. It hasn't uploaded for about 9 years. Those cats are probably in heaven right now, because unfortunately cats don't live for 9 years usually. I'm called the eye that says she has every right to remain bald. Now happy? Nah. She has the right to have green hair. Oh man, why did I draw her face like that? It scares the hell out of me. But what I need to do... Okay, Borington, I have a real question. Do I need to make the head bigger? Because I think I made the head a little on the small side. If we look... Or... I could... Nope. Also made the neck taller. That is fine, but the cap isn't. The cap isn't... In what way would you say the cap isn't? Let me look up reference material. Okay, if we take... Ignoring his beard. Taller neck, yes. Okay, I will go with the taller neck. Grover. Okay, if we take this reference material with the cap, how would you say I need to change it? I'm aware that you want to make a bandana, but what you draw looks like this cap. True. That's because I haven't drawn this part, a little stuff inside. Folded lines. I can make the cap a bit taller, because this looks a bit tall on the side. And that way also feels like there's more inside of it. And folded lines, that is also a good suggestion. So what we will do is make the cap a little taller and get some detailing. No, don't make it tall. Oh, you don't want me to make it tall. You just want the folded lines. Okay, we'll just do folded lines. Here it is a bit folded, like so. Fold lines are best used with some shading color instead of the outline color. First need to understand in way it's folded. Google Futaba forehead without hair. Okay. Okay, which reference material do you mean? Do you mean this one? It will load. Okay, what did you want me to learn about this? That her head is very tall? Because of one tall forehead, man. Yes. Big brain moment. He will make Megamind blush. Okay, anyway, let's continue with the folding lines. Speaking of lookup drawing, I will look up drawing bandana. Because maybe if I look at someone else's drawing, it gives me better sense. Oh, you know what I can do? I can also make this a half bandana and have the top hair poking out. Maybe. Okay, I think this bandana will be, well, yeah, I think this bandana may be useful as reference. Notice how blocky it is. Because instead of having more round, it is more of a blocky feel to it. Make it feel a bit more natural. Like actual curves. If you make the bandana bigger, the proportion of the head will be like true. So yeah, actually shots make the bandana cover more closer to the brow. I don't think I can do the bandana too much short though. How would I translate this design? Oh, I have an idea. I first use has to feel a bit more blocky the original design. It all flows to one point, so it won't be, the bandana won't be purple. This just helps me to make it a bit more make sense. And all flow to one point. That's the most important part, that all flows to one point. Okay, does that make more sense? The lines help make it look more like a bandana, I hope. Now I just need to translate that into proper lines. Yeah, actually you should make so Plankton, what kind of streamers do you like to watch? Okay, we have this with more flowy lines, and I'll just let's use the color red. And how does it differ for me? I mean the streamers you watch. The completionist streamer, obviously, that doesn't stream PvP content. That makes sense, that makes sense. You love completing games. I haven't seen one of your streams yet. Wait, do you even stream? I don't know. But if you do, you need to let me know. I will definitely jump in on your streams. Okay, now she looks like she's wearing bread. Looks a bit like a bread loaf. It does, I don't know, does boring stream. Don't don't curse too much and respect the viewers instead of lashing out, calling them freak scam. True. You know, I also get very annoyed at streamers that curse too much. I've been watching this one Dutch streamer, and every time he tries to explain something in the game, he keeps throwing the F-bomb. So instead of saying, "Oh, here you go left," he says, "Here you go fucking left." And he does that all the time. Oh, I get so annoying after a while hearing the F-bomb constantly. I don't mind cursing, but cursing loses meaning once you do it the whole time. Okay, let's see how... to make it a bit more roundish. It also makes me lose a bit of respect when people default, not just streamers, but people default to using curse words when they need to explain their thought process. Now, not saying that I don't do that, I also curse a lot, but I try to avoid doing it too much. Because I think cursing loses its meaning if that's the only way you talk. The curse I don't like is the one that blame the game by shitting it. I encountered that yesterday too. Someone was struggling with a boss fight and called. I always hate people calling hard games bad design. No, you just suck at games. Oh, I get really annoyed at the whole game is hard, therefore it's badly designed culture recently. Like, I get if the game is super glitchy and you keep falling through the floor, yes, it's badly designed. But if a boss battle that's supposed to be difficult is difficult, that's the point of a boss. It's supposed to challenge your skill level. And if you suck, then practice more or get more powerful. So if it's like saying, well, isn't the F left? That's kinda okay in certain contexts, but if the streamer is unjustly complaining the game and rage at it, or even just respond to viewers that way, that's what I don't like. Yeah, me neither. The only streamers I can tolerate are the ones that can at least be somewhat civil. But those are often hard to find. Especially if you want streamers that are both civil but are also okay enough to use curse words just because it's funny. Because if you do it right, cursing can be super entertaining. Oh. Okay, What do you think, Porrington? I feel like I've made the bandana a little too big now. It makes her head look very small. Okay, what I think I need to do, I need to make the bandana slightly inner and delete this one outright. It doesn't need to curse to implicate annoyance or negativity. That just shows the person is illiterate. I don't know if it shows illiteracy, but it does show that they have very low temper for sure. Very low. Okay. I'd say it needs to go down a couple more of the forehead. Take half of the distance from the eyebrow to the bandana. It's a good distance for me. Okay. Should I draw it more or should I just do this? What do you think? Drawing or do this? And also I need to draw the neck. That's what I will do in a bit, the neck. Yeah, this. Alright, we'll do this. I figured you'd say that. So we'll first fix the pixel art, aka the outline. So, and then we'll draw the neck. Okay. Next up is which layer is the head? Hmm. You didn't read the part where I said it's unethical to promote. Hang on, you never said something about unethical, did you? It doesn't need to curse and create annoyance. I'd say it needs to go down cough. I don't see anything about you saying something about ethics. You didn't read the part of where I said it's unethical to promote my channel by saying I'm streaming. Neck is too long. Neck is too long, okay. That's easy to fix. We'll just bring this guy down. Well, just don't miss the head. Just bring these guys down. Okay. Like so then. Yeah, I also think it's unethical to say you're a streamer on someone else's streams. Except when the streamer allows you to. Because there are some streamers that are okay with it. But that comes down to reading the room. If you don't read the room, go to hell. I'd make it like 10 degrees slanted. What? The neck? I feel like the head is just very small, man. I don't know, I think I may want to redraw the head entirely and just make it a little bigger. Mentioned once or twice, it may be okay, but I don't want to change topic to become it. Yeah, I think I will redraw the head entirely and just make it a bit bigger so it fits better with the other characters, because if I pull up Chish, one right here, I think, if I can find it. This one has a very large head, proportionally speaking. Look. So her having such a small head doesn't quite work. The face is not... Don't think about the face, that's just more for reference. Or maybe if I make it less sharp, because right now it has like this angle to it. You can also make it first go slightly down before. Now it looks more like a big triangle. And then need joints. Join the elbows. I guess what I want to change, I want to change the head shape a little. So it could be easy to see if I turn off this part and then sneak joints. She doesn't have hands though. And then copy that and our face is a bit more trying, a bit more. The hairpiece on top was not drawn for this face. So I first need to delete some of the hair a bit. Is this a better face shape? Or do you prefer the old face shape? Now it looks like a middle-aged man. But it's a pirate, not a beauty queen. True. Middle-aged man. Okay, what if I remove the face for a bit though? Because the face is more of a hypothetical. Anyway. Oh. Okay, if you make a different face type on top of this. You know what, I will pull up another drawing so I can steal the eyes for a bit. Which drawing shall I steal? I will... Can I find the eyes of this character? Okay, perfection. So is this better touching? Okay, I really need to redraw the face at some point. Okay, let's see, what do I want to change? You weren't happy with the lack of joints here. Can do that, I guess. I can draw those. But I don't feel like it. I know. I don't know. I'm not... I really think I want to make the face a little bigger. No face, perspective looks dead front perspective. Okay, no. Face perspective looks dead front perspective. Nose goes right. What? What do you mean by nose goes right? Okay, blue eyes. Okay, these are the ears. That means the mouth is approximately here. Well, nose has 2 nostrils. Oh, you want me to redraw the nose? Alright. I didn't mean to give her a nose at this stage, but sure. Give her a quick nose. Now she looks more like a witch. Well, drawing a small N is better than making it look like a shaped nose. Oh, you're not a fan of these kinds of noses? I see. So more like so, you think? Like the Futaba nose? What do you mean? This? Those are just two small dots. Not like so, and then have like... shadow surrounding one nose. Sure, man. But I'm still not quite sure if I'm happy with the head. I feel like the head is just so small. But speaking of design, I want to draw part of the hair covering the chest plate. So we're going to order nose for now and draw a little bit of hair. See, better. Yeah, it looks better in terms of front-facing view. We'll add little swirlies in our hair to make it feel more like she's from the seas, like little waves of water. So, mouth's too big. Just make it small for feminine touch. You're criticizing the face structure a lot, man, even though I wasn't planning to do a face right now. Okay. So, the mouth is now smaller. Okay, that was by the hair. So instead I want to add some swirlies, like little waves. Make them watermelon sized. What, the mouth? No way, man. That'd be a big ass mouth. The swirls goes a bit against the original design, but cares about accuracy. This new interpretation of that character. Don't you think they are backing off? Nah, this is not that kind of game, my man. Maybe for a future project. Make Opie pie. Maybe a future project, maybe. Turn off the eyes for a moment so we can see the face better. You know, fun fact. Speaking of Opie, at some point I did consider making adult games. And maybe I will do one in the future. Not this project, but if I'm ever bored enough, I may make that kind of game just for funsies. Oh. You naughty. Yes. Yes. Will I go through a fake name? Being like definitely not Super Doom King, I'm actually a Naughty King. Don't be confused. Or will I be like, hey, I'm Doom King, I make these kind. Sure, I make some normal games, but I also make these kinds of games. I've been thinking of completing one. It feels cheap. Oh yeah, most porn games aren't made to be really played as games, man. Because for reals, do you really download those types of games for the amazing gaming experience? If you do, then let me know which game had that amazing experience in terms of gaming. I've never completed an adult game. Have I ever? A good question. Yeah, I think I've completed some very short hour-long games, but the more bigger ones, that will take you like multiple days to even get somewhere. Yeah, I haven't completed those either. Sometimes I like to download random ass RPG Maker adult games and then using some cheats to give myself an infinite XP or something so I don't have to waste my time grinding all those monsters or grinding for money. So in other words, not really playing the game. Because why would I play the game if that's not the reason I downloaded it to begin with? Closest experience that in GOWXXX Interactive. I've never heard of that. Okay, let me look it up. Uh, GOWXXX Interactive. God of War. The first resort is God of War. Here is sharing his passion. God of War, my dude. Oh, I thought you would talk about some random company. Some company named GOW. That's just God of War. Is it a mod you were playing or is it some fan game? It has an interactive scene with oh, it has a scene with it in those scenes, so it's normal gameplay. The game itself. I didn't know that. Now you made me curious to play it. It's funny though, when I originally envisioned this character, I didn't think of her hair having all these swirlies. But it makes her feel more like someone from the waters in a weird way. Or Medusa, she also kind of looks like Medusa now. No, it's in the actual game. A Sony game has interactive. Just Google Kratos in Aphrodite. Aphrodite. I will look that up after stream. I'm not going to do that right now. Mainly because my stream will completely lag if I watch a video. I really want to play some God of War games, but um, I am aware of the two newest ones, the ones in Norse mythology based. But that annoys me because I am very pro starting from the beginning. AKA, I want to start from the original 3 games, I think. Because I would be very annoyed to play the newer games and not knowing the context about the old games. That's just me though. I'm probably just weird for being like that. I'ma tell that to others, such as in need. Nah. Don't tell that to the others. They don't need to know. Okay, they are remaking the original trick because Sony and video game industry likes remakes. Yeah, I'm very tempted to get a remake just for the sake of me being able to play the OGs. But I also wouldn't mind it if they just ported the original versions. Because unlike most, I don't actually mind 2000s graphics. As long as the game is still good, who cares about the graphics, man? And given the God of War series got all these sequels, the game's gotta be good, man. Regardless. It's only going to be a matter of time before we all get this log feels a bit out of place. Removing this one entirely. It's only a matter of time before we'll get a Mario 64 remake at this point. Because Nintendo's already making Ocarina of Time. And in other words, it's very likely we will also see a Majora's Mask remake. It's not like crazily good, but it's good enough. I played 1, 2, 3. Nice. The only thing I know about God of War 1, 2, 3 is that you go around killing the Greek gods. That's the only thing I know about it. And the fact that my friend didn't like them as much as the Norse ones. They're scared of serious Zelda will flop. Ah, man, I really want some new Zelda. And I don't want yet another Tears, what is it, Breath of the Wild. Tears of the Kingdom is a good game, but it's just Breath of the Wild again. I want something new, I want a new Zelda. One that goes away from all that open world. But I also don't want constant remakes of games I've already played 10 years ago. So, Poington, do you like the hairstyle? Okay, maybe I want to make this one right here a bit smaller. Or do you think I made it a little too crazy? Did I go a bit overboard? I've read people get annoyed by Scandinavian ones. They did? I only know that people got mad because apparently Thor is a fat ass in that one. Because they're so used to the Marvel version, I think. But from what I've heard is that it's more accurate to real Thor, but I'm not sure. I'm not too familiar with Scandinavian mythologies. It looks like seaweed. That means she looks exactly like someone that came from the seas. Where does this pixel come from? Here. Oh, that was her ear reference, which I'm just going to delete entirely. Control S, make sure to always save, or you will regret it later. Okay, let's see, what do I want to change? I want to see it comparatively to the other characters for a moment. Oh yeah, compared to the old version, you can see a lot of differences. Compared to, like I said, the head feels just small, mainly because her head is a lot more bigger, fortunately. And now I'm really considering to just completely redraw the head to be a bit more bigger, but keeping the hairstyle, because I like the hairstyle, even if it's not accurate to this version at all. How does it stack up to this character though? Well, it depends on your style. Anime style never makes sense. Even with Taba having bad forehead proportions, people will still like her. Yes, it just depends on your style, and for me, it's not so much that the head is too small, it's more that comparatively to these older two characters, it feels super small. You know what I mean? I want to be in line with these other two characters a bit more. That's why most animes are dumb. Do you think they are dumb because they're not realistically proportioned? Ah, that's a fair opinion to have. Some people aren't into anime style proportions. But otherwise, I think what I will do is... I don't feel like redrawing the head right now though. I've already worked so much on it. I will redraw it some other time, but I want to do right now, let's see. Um, One of my most disliked towards anime stars, the characters that have their hair cover their eyes. Then I assume that you really don't like Rosalina. Yeah, I understand. I think that is just part of that emo style, right? Back in the 2000s, emos also loved to have their hair cover their eyes like this. I don't like having my hair in front of my eyes because it pokes my eyes and it's annoying. It hurts. Or when they draw faces, somehow objects in front of them turn transparent. That's more of a stylistic choice, so you can see their face. But yeah, that's just anime for you. Um, this Airport looks weird. I think I will try some shadings just to see. Okay, shades color. Darker, bit more bluish. And let's see. This part is on the armor, so it will get a bit armor shading. I like lamp style. What is lamp style? Clamp manga artist. Oh, that's an... It's an all-female Japanese manga artist group. All female. Ah. Okay. They do some very 2000s looking stuff. Okay, as I was saying, I want to draw some shading here. Let's see how big will, how extreme will I make the shading look. I don't feel follow exact real world shading since the light source is because why. And a bit underneath the bilge. Hmm. And to give a bit of sense of curvature, shading can be used to deepen the curve a bit. Hmm. Okay, we'll try something else. I will first try with going around all the insides and make them in line with the other characters, which is skipping the shading part slightly inward. And I do this mainly to make the characters colors pop out more. Takes forever though. Oh yeah, I forgot to draw the joints you want me to draw. I will do that later. Because personally I like to think of shading as a secondary outline. An outline that goes inside of the real outline and can act as the outline if there's no outline. In other words, my shading isn't really involved in the direct lighting because, well, I don't care where the lighting is. I'm more interested in how it looks from afar. But turn off the head for a moment so you can see. Because especially in this pixel art style, you don't really have the luxury of being super realistic. Unless that's the art style you go for. And instead you have to really think about how you use your limited colors. And for me, I have this simple rule of not having more than 3 colors per color. And that is, and shading is one of the colors, and highlight is the other. In other words, those two need to really, I need to maximize those two colors to maximize how each color will pop out on the artwork. I'm not sure yet how I will shade the metal plate yet though. Because can I even shade this thing? Because metal is like one color unless it shines. Doesn't really need a shading. Probably not. Maybe shaded by the hair that covers it. But it's only like a small part I think. Okay, I've been what can I talk about while I draw? Besides the fact that it's super hot in the Netherlands. I don't know why, but today was just very warm. But not so warm that I needed to take off my shirt. I'm still wearing my shirt. But warm enough that I need to use my hand fan to not overheat. That's a strange balance, man. Oh, this point where I think using patterns will look amazing. First I need first I will need to do shading before I can apply the pattern. Yeah, whenever I'm not drawing on stream, just in my own free time, I like to put up some music, which I cannot do right now because that will lag my computer. Something I enjoy listening to from time to time is some Hamilton music that wanna play based on American history. I have like no interest in American history, but those songs are just so fun to listen to, man. There's a good musical makes you want to listen to the music afterwards. Okay, it's also close to becoming 1 o'clock. I haven't decided how long I want to stream. Maybe I'll stop at 1, maybe I'll continue a bit further. But even if I stop streaming, I probably won't stop at drawing. Because there's still so much I want to draw, regardless if I'm streaming or not. Oh, definitely not a human body. Sometimes I just want some random people to join my stream and look at the polls and be like, what the fuck? Oh, that would be so funny if someone who doesn't watch me regularly looks at those polls and be like, oh, maybe. This is the first stage of the inline outline, which is usually followed by some pattern testing. But I think I want to make this color a bit more muted than the main color. It doesn't look as off-putting. And the outline color I want to be slightly lighter. I want to test some patterns. Let's see, one pattern I want to test is not this one. Pattern will be funny for sure, but ooh, I like this pattern a lot, but I think I've already used it. No, it seems I haven't used it yet. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, let's see. Now it starts slowly looking like the finished product. We have the new shading. Maybe I made her dress look a little too bluish, though I may have to recolor it to be a bit more greenish. I'm also bored of her. Okay. Okay, I want to quickly go to the toilet. So I'll be right back. Howdy, howdy, howdy. I will probably all end stream soon too. Let me check, how long have I been streaming? Nearly 3 hours, okay. I will probably end around the 1 hour in like 10 minutes. But until then, something I will probably do off stream tomorrow is changing how big her head is. But until then, I will do some more shading experiments. I don't have updated shading for this character, I think. But I can use the other characters as shading, which will, I mean, not shading, the color palette, which will save me a little bit of time of making new color palettes. That's what I will be doing before ending the stream, just doing some final shading fixes. And then I'll return. So maybe Friday, maybe. I probably won't stream tomorrow because I'm planning to watch another streamer who streams tomorrow. But Friday I may stream a bit on Friday and probably around the same time as well. Is this the right color though? I don't know. Maybe a little bit more muted. You know what I can do? I can also give her a bit of skin color. I think that's the problem. The orange is just not dark at all. Okay, seems it's not worth changing the color after all. But I need to make sure I have the skin color selected so I don't accidentally draw on something else. And if I turn on the head, okay, I will draw the head part some other time. After stream I will probably play a couple games of chess while listening to some Hamilton songs. That's what I'm looking out for. Just sitting back and maybe I will read a book. I just finished reading about Lego botanicals. So maybe I'll read a chapter out of Tasting History. Learn about some historical food for a moment. Will be fun. At least I think. Learning about history is fun. But sometimes I may find myself to be the only person that likes history. At least. Well, interesting. The arms. Hang on, I need to check something. Because. Okay. Okay, I think. Okay, never mind. I think I already know where the disconnect lies. It simply lies in the fact that there are some specific details that I drew. And one of the details is this line right here, which I will change to black to give it a bit more, so it doesn't look a bit off-putting when I do the shading. I won't use fancy patterns on the arms. So quiet, schatje, you didn't miss pouring. I was quiet because you weren't here. Yeah, I was wondering where you went. I figured you left when I took a quick toilet break. What I said is that I was planning to end streams soon, but I just want to do a couple small fixes. I have fair to an my man, Porrington. Porrington. Just as I give you that special nickname, Porrington, who else calls you that? Is there some? Does that other streamer give you a nickname too? Fine, fine. From now on, you're Porink Master. You traitor, Porink Master. You don't deserve the 10 nickname. Pretko. What? Why? Okay, I need a brown color. These characters don't have fun browns, unfortunately. Is this a fun brown? Okay, that's so weird. Why are these two different browns? I don't know. Alright. A community meme. Ah. So everyone is called Bretko. Or just you. Because in my stream, you have a special name. No one else is called Porrington here. Because no one else is called Porink Master here. But no longer. If you keep betraying me like that, I cannot call you Porrington any longer. Because it was a special name only given to special streamers. But I don't know if I can feel any specialness with you anymore. Porink Master. Me and mostly two others, it started because of an ex-regular of a streamer. An ex-regular. That's pretty cool though. Having a little stream inside jokes. Maybe someday my streams will get little inside jokes as well. Yeah, that ex-regular has been MIA now. Okay. Once I have drawn the letter plate, and by that I mean the outline, I will stop the stream. So unfortunately, you'll have to find me again some other day. And maybe that day I will forgive you and call you Porrington again. But not today. Today you're Porink Master to me. But I don't know if you were here when I did the outline part. But mainly why I do this is to make colors pop out a little more. And give a better blend between the colors and the outline. I want to stop with the Bretko meme since that guy goes missing. But you have to still refer to me as such. Oh. Then you just have to keep going with it, man. Keep going with it, Bretko. You know, I used to call Irbo, the guy who was here earlier, Irps, with an S at the end, Irps. I don't know why, I just think it sounds funny, Irps. Just the same as I think it's fun to call you Porrington. Yeah, exactly, we're Bretko's. And Mr. Pixel edit. Let's see, did I miss Pixel? I don't know where I missed Pixel, man. If you can specifically tell me. Color to the right. Okay. Ah, thanks, man. My man, I wasn't doing that. Now don't put any thoughts in my head, because before you know it, I will draw one. You know what? Fine, fine, fine. Just for you, I will draw one. Here, you may stare at it. I have some more important stuff to take care of. Oh, that's the wrong color. But you know, that goes back to my future ideas of maybe making an 18+ game. Because if I want to, I can easily change some of these characters more promiscuous. Okay, that is the entire armor plate, leaving me with, where is the, I have unlocked such inner desires. You know, if we're talking about cleavage, it's definitely a bit too high though. Because it should be, the cleavage should be more around here, if you were to be honest. Because this is way too high for a cleavage to be. This goes into digital footprint. My man, I've drawn way worse than that. I can show you something I once drew. I don't know if you've already seen it. I once drew this character, but with this version called Boo. Haha. Now that's my type. Skin color. Who needs white when you can have it a bit of a chan going on? Now that's my type. This goes into the it means she's Mary Magdalene. Maybe she is. Okay, pattern testing. Which pattern feels the most like leather? Pattern, I just realized I used the wrong pattern for the shirt. No. Maybe this pattern, I don't know. Google Maria Magdalene plastic circuit. Maria Magdalene plastic. Oh, my man, that looks gross. Did I write it right? Maria Magdalena. Huh? Why does she have those big lips? I don't get it. I could show this to my artist friend, but I'm sure you're gonna list it again. I could show this to my artist. Unlist this stream. Don't worry, I won't unlist this stream for the next few months. If you go to my live streams, the streams I haven't unlisted are mostly drawing streams that I only unlist after. I think I have too many streams, so this one will stay up for quite some time. With the exception being if I make some very controversial, possibly controversial hot takes. Which I haven't really done in this stream though. So if you want to show to your artist friend, go ahead. And hey, maybe they can give me some fun advice on how to improve my craft. Okay, I think simplicity with the letters probably better because it won't get in the way as much with the blue lines. She will have better insight on what's lacking. I think so too. I wish I had more artist watchers for that matter, so they can give me more insightful opinions regarding the craft. But you know, maybe someday someone will follow me. Okay, for the letter part, I completely missed. So, for the letter part, the only thing missing is the gold threading, which I will do some other time. And let's turn on the head for a moment. If I need to look for something specific, this, and we can find it. So, perfeccione. Because now it looks like there's a bit of shadow going on under her head. I want to slightly adjust it. Just is it accurate? Okay. But for now, I'm having a fair. Well, for now, I'm going to stop the stream, so see you later, Boring Master.